Mic check 1, mic check 2, mic check 1, 2, hey, hey. Test 1, test 2, check, check. Check 1, 2. Golden. It's the University of Nebraska Omaha ACHA Hockey, live from Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Your Omaha Mavericks take on the Arizona State Sun Devils. Hello out there and welcome to the UNO ACHA Mavericks channel on YouTube. NATO Bricks back one final time for the finale of the first ever Omaha Showdown presented by Capper Hockey Services. After Game 5 of the round-robin showcase this morning, a thriller that ended in a shootout victory for Western Michigan over Miami, the standings are set. And after the late game here today, and the late game last night that saw Miami of Ohio beating Arizona State in the shootout, none of the three visiting teams, not Western Michigan, not Arizona State, and not Miami of Ohio, none of them can succeed the unbeaten Mavericks in the standings. Omaha put itself in the driver's seat of its own showcase with a resounding 5-0 victory over the Stallions of Western Michigan last night, after a 7-3 win over Miami, Ohio to open the tournament. On the opposite end of the ice, Arizona State, who made the ACHA National Tournament a year ago in Division III, enters with a record of 0 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw, as it's officially listed, after opening the showcase with a 5-3 loss to Western Michigan on Friday and a shootout loss last night to Miami that hits the books again as a tie. ASU isn't just here for the stakes in the zoo, however. The Sun Devils of Tempe, Arizona look to spoil the inevitable Omaha Showdown trophy ceremony coming up after the horn for the Omaha Mavericks. Still, at minimum, we've got 60 minutes of ACHA hockey here on Sunday afternoon from Ralston, Nebraska, just outside of Omaha. We'll take a break here and let you listen in on the anthem before getting you some lineups and getting the puck drop here in Omaha, Nebraska. Welcome back to Liberty First Credit Union Arena here in Ralston, Nebraska. Just about set for puck drop in the finale of this inaugural ACHA Omaha Showdown, presented to you by the Capper Hockey Services crew. And it's time to get you some starting lineups. For the Mavs, making his second start of the year after playing the first 30 minutes against Platteville a week ago, it's Cameron Moore, the sophomore out of St. Catharines, Ontario, just across from Buffalo in the Niagara Falls region, making his second start of the year. Out in front of him on defense, the captain, Troy Hunsaker, leading the team in assists with 4 to start the season. He's the all-time program leader with assists by a defenseman. To his right, an assistant captain, Camden Forey. Forey's big game last night. He was everywhere on the ice, accounting a lot of minutes for the Mavericks and a lot of touches of the puck. Up on the forward line, starting out there, the freshman Blake Glazer. 3 goals and 2 assists for 5 points for the freshman out of Kearney, Nebraska, Glazer. He's on the right wing, centered by Austin Tessier, the sophomore out of Midland University and Airdrie, Alberta, Canada. On the left wing, it's Chase Mann, rounding out the starting 5 for the Mavericks as they take possession off the intercept and dump the puck into the offensive zone. Out there for the Sun Devils, it's Kai Rivas making his first start of the season in net for ASU, the junior out of Westerville, Ohio, played for the Westerville Warcats. Excuse me, he's from Surrey, South Surrey, British Columbia. We've got some bad intel on the Sun Devils. We'll get a little bit more on that later in the game. But first, a shot in from the wing from Forey's off the back of the glass. Now the Sun Devils picking it up and starting out of their own zone. Left to right here in the road whites for ASU. Excuse me, they're the home whites, but they've been wearing them all 3 games on the road as the Mavs dump the puck down. Maroon on the shoulders as the puck intercepted by Crow off the pipe. Rebound chance from Mann. He couldn't get it home. Dangerous play early for the Mavericks, who have scored 25 goals in just 3 games to start the season. An insanely impressive clip at averaging 8.33 goals a game. Just over 8 goals a game the Mavs are clipping here 3 games into the season. Now on the 4th against the Sun Devils as they start the puck out of their own zone. That's Dylan Wendt. He dumps it in. Moore rings it around the back wall looking for Charlie Shea. Along the Zamboni doors here at Liberty First Credit Union Arena, it's picked up by the Sun Devils. Centered out in front. Great save by the sophomore Cam Moore, getting his hat on that one and getting involved in the action early. Moore only saw 14 shots. He stopped all 14 in his opening start for Omaha. Wasn't tested too hard by Platteville, but did see a fair share in his first half of the first game. ASU struggling to get it out of their zone. Ryan Hedquist dumps that back in. Hedquist, the team leader, with 5 goals in 6 points in just 3 games. The freshman out of Sioux City played for the Sioux City Metros, now here for the Omaha Mavericks. Spent a lot of time on this ice at Liberty First Credit Union Arena with the Metros as the Sun Devils bring that one in. Pad save by Moore, who also spent time here as a member of the Kansas City Jets. Both would travel up to play the Omaha Junior Lancers right here on this sheet at Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston, Nebraska. Puck in for the Devils on the attack. Carried behind the goal line, sent out in front. Moore flicks it to the corner. Grabbed there by ASU along the wall. Taking it out in front. Looking for a pass. He dumps it down is Dom Pawlatis. Ringing it around the back wall. It's picked up by the Mavs. Fitch out with it in those road black uniforms with the big red bull on the logo in the front. The 7th logo of the Mavericks. History dating back to 1908 when they opened as Omaha Municipal University. ASU clears out the center as we are now 16 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the first. Just over 3 minutes of elapsed time here in the first period as the Mavs dump it in once more. Grabbing that puck for ASU is Kaplan. He turns it over right as he was trying to exit the zone. ASU banks one off the glass and trying to spring a man free there. But the Maverick defense catches up to it. Cassioppo tried to break out looking for James Shea. He couldn't catch up to the pass. Sun Devils defense regrouping in their own zone. That's Kaplan sending one off the backside of Rocco DeSpirito. Sophomore out of Omaha sends that one back into the ASU D zone. Dylan Fitzpatrick starts it from his own end. Leaves it behind for Dylan Wendt. A couple of Dylans going pass to pass here, but they turn it over at center ice to Rocco DeSpirito. Dirk Schneider makes a move around one man as he has the puck for Omaha. Shakes off Fitzpatrick and dumps it the rest of the way. Rivas forced to stop that puck behind his cage, vacating the crease for a moment as ASU starts out. CJ Lavelle pressured by Chase Mann, and they can't get the puck out. Mann now doing battle with Stasica along the wall. Omaha wins the puck. Tessier to Glazer, shot wide right, looking for the top shelf on the glove hand side of Rivas. He couldn't get it through. It's out to the point. Voorhees with a shot in. Blocked out in front. Still loose. ASU clears. Fitzpatrick sends it up ahead. Uraljak. Poke checked off the puck by the captain, Hunsaker. Great play from Troy, the senior. Omaha back with it. Quickly up the ice comes Tessier. Reverse hit, shouldering aside a would-be checker. He gets it down low to Chase Mann. On the backhand, trying to find Tessier again. He couldn't get it to him. Picked up along the wall by Cobley. He's bodied off the puck by Glazer. Taking it below the goal line is Glazer behind the cage. He leaves it for Chase Mann. Mann back to Glazer. Poked off the puck. Grabbed by Cobley in the corner. Lifted out, but Hunsaker keeps it in. Pressured off the puck by number 91, CJ Lavelle. You'll notice the black tape on his jersey, adding a 1 to that usual number 9 jersey as he just skated off the ice. ASU has a finite number of jerseys, and it is less than that of the number of players on their roster. So, for the 3 games of the Omaha Showdown, they have simply been rotating jerseys. All this white jersey, they've just been trading it around the players who are starting that day. So apologies if we get a wrong name or number here or there for the Sun Devils, but we literally have no frame of reference to go off of for their roster. ASU dumps that back in to the offensive zone. Charlie Lowndes, the big freshman, picks it up, gets it to Kraut, who sweeps it in. Picked up there on defense by Brendan Lewis. He starts out with it for ASU wearing maroon socks with white stripes and gold stripes. About half of the ASU guys are wearing the maroon stockings. I could say a third are wearing the gold ones, and then you've got a couple there wearing the full white uniform. As they dump the puck in, it goes too far, didn't catch any Mavericks or Sun Devils, and it's an icing with 13:16 to go in the first. Ryan Hedquist gets it back to Shermer right off the draw, and a great shot block preventing that one from getting on net from Goose. It's played out to center ice. Dirk Schneider tracks it down, getting it over to Beth. Beth to Fitch, who ramps it into the offensive zone. Sky high. It's played back by Rivas. Intercepted there by Hedquist. Pressured along the wall, forces a turnover, and out with it comes ASU. Taking the puck up is Powell Addis. Centered it across, shot on as the net appears to be off of its mooring behind Moore. ASU still with possession in the offensive zone as Jurkinen dumps it in. Omaha able to clear to center. Quickly back in comes Kaplan. He dumps it down. Moore stops it behind that slightly ajar cage. Pressured along the hash marks. It's turned over, but an errant pass along the blue line forces ASU to have to regroup at neutral ice. 12:15 to go in the first period. No score yet. Omaha trailing in shots to the Sun Devils 4-3. Puck below the goal line behind the Omaha net. Beth starts out with it, getting it ahead to Fitch. Fitch skates in with numbers. Sends a rebound pass out to Shermer. Was looking to go for a pad pass is what they call that, right off of the right shin of Rivas. But he stopped it. Shermer couldn't catch up, and now Moore with a big save at the other end off a pad. Voorhees to Shermer. The Mavs get it out of their own zone. Fitch had to go track that one back as it was behind him. Sends James Shea in on the attack. The Sun Devils first to it. Take that one. It's Wendt. Bringing it back up the far side wall. It's grabbed there by Makinen. Played off of Makinen's stick by Cassiopo, but right onto that of Sessa, who takes it and dumps it down. But on the defensive side of his own, on the defensive side of the center ice line, I should say, that play will go for an icing. Patrick Fabian, our official, directing traffic out there with Rob Fitzpatrick, the two orange bands here today for the finale of the Capper Hockey Services Showdown. Omaha in first place in the standings right now at 2-0. Behind them are the Western Michigan Stallions with a record of 2-1. That one loss coming to the Mavericks. So no way Western will be able to pass Omaha in standing. Behind them are the Red Hawks of Miami. And a shot from a weird angle banks off a Moore shin pad and goes in. We hope number 13 is Joseph Rosenberg today. Junior out of Long Beach, California. Played in the Minnesota Blue Ox with Chase Mann in the 22-23 season, if that is indeed Rosenberg. Either way, it's a 1-0 lead for ASU. 9 minutes, 26 seconds into the first period. Back on the attack quickly comes Glazer. Center back out in front. Man on the shot. Poked up by his stick. Played out by the Sun Devils. Shot on from outside the zone. Easily stopped by Moore, and he'll cover and hold. For Rosenberg, it's his first game. It's his first goal of the season. He played in Game 1 against Western Michigan, but sat last night against Miami, Ohio. As 3 former Blue Ox alumni on this Maverick squad, Blake Glazer, Tyler Shermer, and Chase Mann. Though Mann was the only one who played in 22-23, along with Rosenberg of the Sun Devils. Now ASU dumps it in. Picking it up is Troy Hunsaker to Voorhees. Now Charlie Shea can't get it out of his own zone. Hunsaker takes it. Wagner, and now he's into the offensive zone. Takes it on the attack, sending it right into the crease where Rivas can cover up for an easy stop. Well, since we last read them to you, Arizona State has put up 2 more shots and now leads 6-4. We'll wait and see if they add that last Omaha shot on the board. As the defensive zone draw won by the Sun Devils. Kept in at the line by Cam Ford. He's played off of it, and now ASU comes back on the counterattack. Drake Sullivan lifts it sky high into the offensive zone, trying to take a swing at it, and failing was Allison, as Omaha takes possession and takes it back out of the offensive zone. Wagner chipped at it there, but couldn't get his stick on it apparently, and it will be icing against Omaha. Halfway through period 1, Rosenberg with the only tally for either side, as his goal at 9:26 of the first period has given Arizona State a 1-0 lead as they look to get their first win of the season. Wagner taking it across the blue line into the offensive zone. Stick lifted right as he entered by Allison, and he dumps it out all the way down for an icing. Plenty of fans here inside Liberty First Credit Union Arena. This community sheet here holds 250 seats and room for spectators to watch along the glass area behind the net, currently occupied by the Sun Devils, as they take the puck out of their own zone. Off the icing call, it's Dylan Wendt carrying it in on the attack for ASU. Great play by Fitch there in the corner for Omaha. He wins the puck back, getting it to Hedquist. Hedquist, head of steam, coming out of the zone. Now on the attack. Hedquist to the backhand, now forehand. Looks to the point, tries to find Fitch across ice. He does. Fitch from a glove back down to his hand. Someone's airborne to Hedquist, and he couldn't catch up to it. Taking it outside the zone is Hedquist, retreating back to Farnsworth. Farnsworth got his second goal of the year a night ago against the Stallions of Western Michigan. Big hit from Shermer below the goal line. Now covered up by the hand of Kaplan. He was not flagged for the hand pass, but as Omaha touches up, they will be flagged for the hit. As we'll check on that, there was no penalty awarded on that play. The whistle was because the puck glanced off of the backup goalie, Alexander Frink, there on the bench. It hit right off of that white, maroon, and gold blocker there and forced a stoppage, forcing ASU not to be able to change here for this defensive zone draw that the Mavericks win. Dirk Schneider from the point, tipped once and saved by Rivas. Clear but not out. Trying to find Cassiopa, but he was taken down by the defense. No call will play on as ASU can't clear the zone. Dirk Schneider with another shot on. Easy save from Rivas. Cassiopo sends it down low to Hadfield. Sent out in front. Great defensive play there from Stasica to vacate the slot. ASU did get it just barely over the blue line, but Beth sent it right back in, and a big hit delivered by Hadfield. That one jars Sullivan from the puck. ASU able to get it to center just for one moment again, as it's picked up by C.J. Lavelle, circling through his defensive zone, now across the red line and into the offensive zone. He leads the puck there. It's picked up by Horner. Excuse me, that's the goal scorer, Rosenberg. As he delivers a hit on Dirk Schneider, the puck back out to center ice. Bad pass from Goose, and it's Beth first to it for Omaha. Trying to find Glazer. Great stick lift by Mann, and it's in! What a goal! What an individual effort! Chase Mann ties this one up at 1. A simple dump in, and Mann on the forecheck lifted the stick of the defender, took it right off his blade, and buried it behind Rivas to net this game at 1. Let's go crazy sounds inside Liberty First Credit Union Arena, the goal song for the Mavericks for the second straight season. As at 13-12, man all by himself ties this one up at 1. It's his second goal in as many games as he got his first of the season a night ago. A whistle as ASU brought that one back in after the Mavericks equalizer for an offside. That'll bring the puck back out to center ice, or at least the neutral zone, where Tessier steps in to take the draw for Omaha opposite Tyler Tremoroli for ASU. Tremoroli wins it straight forward. Tessier clears it out of the zone. Picked up by Kaplan, who dumps it back in on the attack for the Sun Devils. Grabbed by Fories. He lifts it up and out. Glazer gets it to Mann, the most recent goal scorer. He's got 2 in 2 games. Mann leaving it behind for Glazer. Cuts to the net front. On the backhand, Tessier with the shot. And a save made by Rivas, maybe 2. And we'll wait to see what the penalty call here is. Both sides will be down a man. For Omaha, it's Chase Mann. For the Sun Devils, it's Tyler Tremoli. Roughing and slashing, respectively, to the opposing players. Coming at 13:53 of the first. So we'll be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes even. As they're showing. Okay, now they've got the penalties up for both teams on the scoreboards, allowing us to get play going again. 4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes as ASU takes the puck out off the glass. Fories catches up with that one in his own zone and starts ahead with it from right to left. Cam Fories taken right off of his blade by Stasica. Stasica takes it in, barely avoiding the offside was Sullivan, but Omaha able to clear to center. Now bad pass. Fories back on it for the Mavs. Gets it to Shermer. He can't hang on to it. Grabbed by Stasica, and he clears his own zone. Hedquist right back on it from the neutral zone into the offensive zone. Sends it on the backhand. Weak shot. Rebound there for Shermer. It's still loose on the goal now. Hunsaker turns, faces the goal front, shoots. It's wide and high. Shermer being held down in front by the defense, being stood over by Stasica. No orange arms in the air. Shermer centers it out. Hunsaker leaves the puck as he's going off for a line change to Hedquist. Hedquist takes it back to center ice, back to Lowndes. He's in on the attack for Omaha. Lowndes shoots off the mask of Rivas. Hedquist can't track the rebound. Shermer can't either. Picked up by Lavelle behind his own cage. And as they start with the puck out, a whistle blows. We'll have a couple more penalties from Rob Fitzpatrick. Shermer appears to be in a bit of pain as he skates away from the crease where he got just assaulted down there. At 15:03, we will have 2 more penalties, 1 to each side. Shermer off for Omaha, and it's Stasica headed to the box for the Sun Devils. We will stay 4-on-4 for the Coincidentals as Glazer in with Fitch, the offensive line pair on this 4-on-4 offensive faceoff draw for the Mavericks. Recently tied 1-1 off the stick of Chase Mann. He's in the box now. Charlie Lowndes sends one on net. It's stopped by Rivas. Mann and Tremoroli of the Sun Devils are in the box for another 44 seconds. Glazer chased from the draw. No, he's just going to talk to Lowndes and set up a potential play here on this offensive draw as the officials were still talking with the Arizona bench. Lowndes gets that one, looking for Fitch. He couldn't find him. Farnsworth, great keep of the line. Zach Farnsworth on the backhand, gets it over to Glazer. He couldn't find it. It was a slow pass, slower than Blake Glazer anticipated, and he couldn't wait long enough for it. It was intercepted by the Sun Devils, who take it out of their own zone. Skating up with it as Dylan Wendt dances around a couple of would-be checkers for the Mavericks, but turns it over as Charlie Lowndes circles behind the cage of Cam Moore and out. Well, nearly coast to coast there for Charlie Lowndes. Turns the puck over right as he gets to the goal line, and out comes ASU. Bad pass intended for Fitzpatrick, intercepted by Omaha. Back to 5-on-5 as Mann and Tremoroli are out of the box. Farnsworth with a head of steam into the offensive zone. Shoots one, deflected out in front, and covered. Brendan Lewis got his stick on that before it found its way to Rivas. And with 3:56 to go in the first, we stay tied at 1-1. Rivas up to 11 saves as the Mavericks have passed Arizona State in shots, now leading 12-9. Referees orchestrating the line changes here ahead of another offensive zone draw. Dirk Schneider on the tip from Mann. It goes wide left. Tracking his own rebound, it's Chase Mann. Out to the point for Despirito. He sends it down low, intending to get it to Glazer in the far corner. It's just not fast enough to get it to him. A shot in from Dirk Schneider. That one's blocked out. Tessier keeps it between his skates. Bodied off the puck, and it's played out from Jyrkinen to the stick blade of Pawlatis. Down the far side wing on the backhand, looking to get it to the slot is Pawlatis. Intercepted there, right at center ice by Mann. He takes it out. Mann sends one on net. He was at a weird angle, and Rivas able to stop that one easily. 3:17 to play here in period one. Arizona State got the scoring started with the first goal of the year for Joe Rosenberg. It was answered 4 minutes later with the second goal of the season and second goal in as many games for Chase Mann, the assistant captain out of Sioux City. The two Minnesota Blue Hawks players from the 22-23 season, the two goal scorers here in period one. Drake Sullivan takes it in the attack for the Sun Devils. Poke checked as he entered the zone by Hunsaker. It's left. Picked up by Rosenberg again. He shoots wide left. It goes to the corner where Rosenberg tracks it. Back out to the point. Shot right into the shin pads of Wagner. Just like last night, here comes Wyatt Wagner. Slowed up a little bit by a hook, but no call. Shot high off the glass and goes up into the netting. And we'll go for a whistle. Shermer and Stasica let out of the box after their 2-minute minor penalties coincidentally happening in the crease. Face off in the Sun Devil zone, won by ASU. They'll take it along the near wall. It's picked up by C.J. Lavelle. Poke checked right as he picked it up by Charlie Shea. Played down low to Kraut. Out front, looking for Wagner. He gets a shot off. A backhand try from Kraut, and it goes high off of the net. Grabbed there by Lavelle. Around the net it goes. Out to the point where Farnsworth keeps it. Holds, shoots. Off the wall. Shea on the backhand. Still out in front. It's Kraut. Taking it to the face-off dot. Poke checked off the puck by Stasica. Lowndes couldn't keep it. Springing Fitzpatrick free ahead for the Sun Devils. Great play from Farnsworth, the freshman, to keep it out of the offensive zone, playing it up to Kraut at center ice. It's into the skates of Wagner. He can't hang on, and the Sun Devils will look to regroup under 2 minutes to go here in the first. Lowell across the blue line and into the offensive zone for ASU. Big hit from the freshman bruiser, Charlie Lowndes. Laid there on CJ Lavelle, and of course, Lowndes gets called for that one. It seems like every time Lowndes delivers any kind of contact to the opposing team, it's usually a big hit, and it usually results in a confusing penalty. Last night we had a couple of roughs called on Lowndes that really didn't make a lot of sense. Here, though it appeared that his opponent had the puck, Lowndes gets an interference call and will be off for 2 minutes, giving ASU the first power play of the game for either side. They'll take the puck on the draw. 18 Kaplan. Down the wing to Stasica. Back up top, Kaplan. Off the shin pad of Moore. Good save from the sophomore. Ubrig. Back to the point. Stasica. Can't catch that pass. Glazer chips it up off the glass. Can't get it out. Back to the point. Sessa tried to find Kaplan, and as he touches up, hand pass, says Fitzpatrick. And that should bring the puck out, unless the hand pass was on the Mavericks, in which case, oh, we might not even know who it was called on. Okay, it is the Sun Devils guilty of the hand pass and the puck out to neutral ice. 1:15 to go in the first. Omaha on the PK for the first time tonight. Forey's able to get that one clear. 2 Sun Devils all the way up on the offensive blue line, waiting and cherry picking, as they call it in hockey. David Olson alerts us just 1 minute remaining in the first in a 1-1 game. 1:15 remaining on the penalty to Charlie Lowndes. Forey's to Glazer, and Glazer with a good hit, clearing that puck out of his own zone. Chasing the Sun Devils all the way back into their end of the ice. It's grabbed by Ubrig. Poke checked as he tried to cross the blue line. Grabbed there by Fitch. It's still in danger as it's Powell Lattis hanging on to it for the Sun Devils. Good stick lift from Fitch. Glazer can't get it out. Slid on across to Wendt. Over and a shot wide off the side of the cage. Off the stick plate of Stasica. Dumped down low with 10 seconds remaining in the first. Across the line is Wendt. He leaves it back at the blue line. It's sent down low with 1 second, and ASU can't catch the puck to get a final shot off. We will end the period with a score of 1-1. We will have 23 seconds of carryover time to deal with on the penalty kill for Omaha when we return with you for period number 2. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the UNO ACHA Mavericks Network on YouTube. We'll be right back with you after this. Welcome back to Liberty First Credit Union Arena alongside Easton Mesher and Caden McDermott. I'm Nate Obrecht here with you for period number 2 between the Omaha ACHA Mavericks and the Arizona State Sun Devils. Arizona State opened the period with the first goal of the season for Joseph Rosenberg. Just 4 minutes later, it was answered by his former teammate from the Blue Hawks, Chase Mann of Omaha. Mann's tying mark at 13-12 of the first has us deadlocked at 1. Charlie Lowndes of the Mavericks will head back to the box for another 23 seconds of penalty time that is carried over from the end of the first period on an interference call and a minor penalty. So Lowndes to the box, 4 Mavericks on the ice opposite 5 Sun Devils to start period 2 here in the final game of the Omaha Showdown presented by Capper Hockey Services. ASU circles back and gives some love to Rivas as the Mavericks are still getting set up to defend here for the first 23 seconds of the second. Back here at Liberty First Credit Union Arena on what is currently the only sheet of ice open and available and will be for the next month, as Athletes Unlimited Volleyball has moved in today to the main arena, which holds 3,500 happy fans for hockey. Athletes Unlimited will take over from now until the end of October, leaving way for only 3 Omaha Lancers USHL games over there in the arena. The rest of the time, that ice will be covered with a volleyball court. Omaha back to full force here as they kill their first penalty of the game. It was the first power play for either side, and ASU is now 0 for 1 on the day. Puck left for Shermer. Glove save, knocked down by Rivas. Great pass from Hedquist there, the 2-on-1. ASU clears it out. Voorhees quickly sweeps it back in. Picked up there by the Sun Devils. Fitzpatrick gets it to Jyrkinen. Shermer intercepts and takes it into his own zone, ringing it off a pad and taking an elbow to the head as he clears the zone. No orange arms yet. Fitch sends it back for Zach Farnsworth, the defenseman out of Omaha, the Omaha Junior Lancers, and the Minnesota Blue Hawks. Puck rung around the back wall. Mann intercepts there and keeps it in. He's the only goal scorer for the Mavericks. He takes his man down. No calls there. ASU out with it from their corner. Skating it up the ice. Pawlatis dumps it down low. Omaha retrieves it below the goal line. Farnsworth trying to get it to Mann. It's intercepted. Lavelle plays it up for ASU. Picked up by Badam, but Glazer plays it off of his stick and into the offensive zone. Blake Glazer shoots one. Blocker save from Rivas. Great play from Tessier there, lifting the stick of the defender, prohibiting him from getting a shot block, and Glazer with a great lane to shoot through that lane that Tessier created. It'll go up into the netting as with 18:07 to go in the second, just a minute 53 in, Omaha will get an offensive zone draw. Two 2-0 in the Omaha Showdown as a shot off the shin pads directed right back on net of Rivas. He has to make the save. Omaha keeping it in at the line. It's Lowndes dumping it in. Intercepted quickly by Cobley, and he takes it up. Right back at neutral ice to the Mavericks. Glazer in on. Moves around one man. Now dances through. Shoots, and it's a glove save from Rivas, preventing Blake Glazer, who had a great look at goal after moving between both Sun Devil defensemen and getting a great look. They'll change, giving way to the line of Kraut, Wagner, and Charlie Shea. Kraut and Wagner, freshmen on this Maverick squad. Shea, a sophomore, scored 13 times last season and has 2 goals here this year already. Wagner shot off the blocker. Shea picks it up, leaving his stick along the ice to collect that puck. It's played out. Chasing after it, Sessa. Moore with the great play to get it to his defenseman. Shea into the offensive zone. Across the blue line, shoots one. Blocker save made by Rivas. Another try from Kraut, and that one's padded into the corner. Down low it goes. Swept to the opposite corner Sun Devils trying to break that puck out. Charlie Shea on the forecheck wins the puck back. Wagner below the goal line. Looking out high. He gets to the point for Mason Beth. Beth shoots one. Deflected off a shin pad and it goes wide right. Picked up by ASU. Finally gotten out of the zone by Sessa. Beth wins possession back to the Mavs momentarily. The Sun Devils dump it in as play slows down for a moment behind the goal mouth of Cam Moore. 16:48 to go in the second period. We're just getting underway in the middle frame from Liberty Hearst Credit Union Arena, Ralston, Nebraska. Wyatt Wagner below the goal line forcing a turnover. Has his stick lifted and out with it skates the Sun Devils. Tremaroli leaving it for Lavelle. Tried to find Tremaroli again. Back to Lavelle. Skates into the crease. Backhand try save by Moore. James Shea picks that one up and sends it sky high out of the defensive zone and out of danger for Omaha. ASU picking it up in the defensive end. Went. Cross ice pass. Finds Lavelle. Tries to skate in. Great defense from Beth. Forced Lavelle off of the puck before he could get a shot off. Now Beth sends one banking off the glass. Up ahead for James Shea. Dirk Schneider gets it back to Cassiopo. Pad save made by Rivas. To Hadfield at the point. Across to Voorhees. Clicks one on net. High over the crossbar. Rivas got a piece of it. Tipped into the corner where his Sun Devils collect it. Pressured by the Mavericks. Great forecheck here in the second. Shermer leaves it for Despirito. Wound up shot wide right. Another try by Voorhees, and that one's off the shin pads of a defender. That was Fitzpatrick, the forward, making the pad save for the Sun Devils. Glazer walks back in with it. Tries to find Shermer. The two Carniates connect. Shermer to Glazer. Glazer tried to get back down low to Shermer. He couldn't catch up to that pass, and ASU skates it out. Despirito tracks it in his own zone. Off the skate of the Sun Devil, and it's down further where Moore has to play it. Moore leaves it for Hedquist. He starts out with speed. Ahead to Shermer. Back to Hedquist. He couldn't get his stick on the puck. Intercepted and played out by ASU to center with 14:50 here in the second. Bad cross-ice pass from the Mavs. It's dumped in by Badam, but he was on the negative side of the center ice line, and it'll go for icing. I'm joined now by Lawson Harahill, Coach Nick Harahill's oldest son, which reminds me that coming up at the end of this period, we will have an interview with Coach Nick Harahill in his third season with the Mavericks. He's got a record of 34, 25, and 5 as he chats with head official of Omaha referees, Jim Casper, but just a linesman today. I shouldn't say just. They're very important jobs here. As a pass from Hedquist out to the slot for Shermer goes high up above the crossbar. Picked up by Badam for ASU. He'll start back the other way with it. Kept in at the line by Charlie Lowndes. Great stick from the freshman. He takes it down to the corner, sends one from a sharp angle, and it's sticked away by Rivas. Pass up along the glass, too far for Maverick or Sun Devil to get it, and it'll go for an icing. So stick around after the second period. We'll get a few words from the bench boss of the Mavericks. His team out to a 3-0 start, hungry for a fourth here in the final game of the Omaha Showdown. They'll have an offensive zone faceoff in a 1-1 game as Shermer wins it back. Hedquist to Dirk Schneider with a shot on the ice. That's sticked away by Rivas. ASU doing their best to clear the zone, ices it once more. That one coming off the stick blade of Dom Pawlatis. We hope. Back down for another offensive zone draw, not 10 seconds behind the last one off icing. Dirk Schneider dumps it down. It's picked up and played by Stasica. To the far side, Pawlatis has to go below the goal line once more, trying to take it up the short side. The near side here. It was given to Lavelle. Played off of it by Dirk Schneider at center ice. Dumped in the rest of the way by Stasica. ASU first on it. Great poke check there from Mason Beth, the sophomore out of Hastings, Minnesota. One back out and a point-blank save made by Moore off the stick blade of Allison. Now a shot from the point. That one never found its way through. Dirk Schneider sends it out to center. Stopped there and played back into the zone. Skating with it and dumping it around. It's given to Allison. Below the goal line, back out top. Shot blocked right along the defense line, and here comes Hedquist. 2-on-1 with pitch. Hedquist shakes, gives the pitch, back to Hedquist, and the defense made it back in time. Puck still loose out in front, and Rivas pounces on it as Hedquist nearly beat him to that, the fastest skater on this Maverick bunch. And the two Sioux City freshmen nearly got the go-ahead goal. Another offensive zone draw for the Mavericks. They have controlled much of the second period and now lead in shots by a total of 22-14. ASU clears the zone. Glazer from center ice gives it to Despirito. Chip pass and it's in. Man behind the goal line looks out high to Fories. Across the blue line to Despirito. Despirito looks, fires, and it's blocked away by Rivas. Glazer trying to go back out to the point. It's intercepted and played out by Sessa. Sessa trying to find his man, Sullivan. Couldn't get it to him. Sessa back on the attack, and he'll carry it in himself this time. Dumps it down low, and Omaha will retreat. Fories lifts this one all the way out. Glazer may be the first one to it. He beats the defense back. Doing battle there with Wendt on defense. Tries to get it to Fories. Fories gloves it down. Pressured by Rosenberg as Fories gets it lower to Mann. Mann out to the high slot for Tessier. He couldn't kick it from skate to stick, and it's out of the zone. Omaha gains possession at center ice, playing it back to their defenseman. Fories sent it right off the skates of Jim Casper, the linesman, and ASU takes possession. Picked up by Stasica. Dumps it down low. Delayed penalty coming up on the Mavericks as Moore makes a wide sprawling save with the left pad. Shutting down the Sun Devils as Omaha will head to the box, their second penalty of the game. It's Tessier skating off. The sophomore played his freshman season with the Midland Warriors in Fremont, Nebraska. Tessier, 2 minutes roughing, says Patrick Fabian. As Cam Fories asking, where's the rough? It's coming at 8 minutes and 24 seconds of the second. The penalty to Austin Tessier for roughing. It will put the Sun Devils back on the power play the second time tonight. They are 0-for-1 on the man advantage. Omaha has killed 13 of 14 of the penalties they've taken through 3 games this season, and now 14 of 15 through a period and a half here tonight. That's averaging over 93% on the penalty kill as a hand pass is going to blow this one dead. You can bat it down to your own stick, but you cannot send the puck from your glove to the stick blade of a teammate. That is a hand pass, and it results in a face-off 1 dot behind where the pass originated. That's why the puck is in the offensive zone of Omaha here on this penalty kill for the Mavs. Quickly taking it back out is Stasica. 1-on-3 against the Mavs. He curls and waits for reinforcements. That's Lavelle playing it down to Tremorelli. Across. It's given to Wendt. Wendt. Back to Lavelle. Shoots and it's in. A lot of traffic in front. And on the power play for the second time tonight, C.J. Lavelle nets it to put the Sun Devils in front. Draw won by the Mavericks. Now a 2-1 game led by Arizona State. The goal coming on the power play at 9 minutes, 20 seconds of the second. The Mavs into the offensive zone where they have been the majority of this second period. It's intercepted, but played right back in by Hedquist. Forced out of the zone, Hedquist circles back. Dances around one man, giving it to Fitch. Fitch poked off of the puck as he entered the zone. Beth kept it in along the blue line and dumps it around the wall. Played in still by Beth for a moment, but kicked out by the Sun Devils. They'll clear the length of the ice. Just barely got into the offensive side of the center ice line, so no icing this time on ASU, but Hedquist back in for Omaha. Gets to the corner, looks and waits. Finding Dirk Schneider at the point. He sends one on net. It's blocked out in front by ASU. Cobley on that one. Now it's found up to Allison. Allison gets a big hit from Dirk Schneider. That one clean. No call there, and the Mavs win the puck back. It's sent out to center ice where it's intercepted by Makinen. Down low it goes. The two sides crunch along the wall. Shermer freeing that puck up. Getting it to Fitch. To Tessier and out of the zone. Blowing a tire there as he springs four. He's free. One-on-one. Cam Forey shoots. Save made by Rivas. And he'll cover and hold. 23 stops on 24 shots now for the the freshman out of South Surrey, British Columbia, and the Islanders Hockey Club in the USPHL Premier Division. We're past the halfway point of this contest. 9:05 to go in the second period. ASU wins the draw on its own end. Turnover. Chase Mann gets it to Tessier. He couldn't bat it out of the sky. Playing it back to Despirito. Couldn't control it. It's out to center ice. Taking control of that puck was Forey's. He sends it out to center. Quickly dumped back in by Allison. Omaha trying to break that puck out. Glazer looking for Tessier. The two get it done. Over the blue line now into the offensive zone is Blake Glazer. Looking out front. Takes out the goalie in the process of getting drilled by Connor Sessa as he tried to skate into the crease. Arms up in apology as Glazer got met with Sessa standing right there on top of the crease out in front of Rivas, and Sessa just barreled him right into his own goaltender. You never like to see that as Rivas with his helmet off in the crease, or inside the net, excuse me. Athletic trainer from Nebraska Medicine waiting on the wings. He will close the door as Rivas gears back up and will stay in this game. Taking a lap and accepting the applause from the crowd is Kai Rivas. He'll circle back to the crease. ASU asking, where's the call? Now the Arizona State coaches are asking for an explanation. Got a few things I'd like them to explain. As 11 minutes, 32 seconds into period number 2. A long stoppage here. Glazer's going to stay out on the ice in addition to Rivas, as both appear to be fine after shaking off that collision. In fact, the third party in that collision, Sessa, the only one not on the ice. And he was the culprit of all the contact. ASU gets it out of their own zone. Forey dumps it back in, and a whistle. I believe icing was called. If so, this one should come to center ice, as Forey's was right at the red line, the center ice red line. And actually, they'll take it even one further to the face-off dot just in front of us here at Liberty First Credit Union Arena. It's one on the bull rush forward by Ethan Cobley. Great stick from Despirito to keep it out of the zone as it quickly batted out as it was entered in. Possession changing in the neutral zone. Voorhees takes it into his own zone to regroup, sending it out, where it's picked up by Cobley. He can't find anybody. A tip pass negates icing. Voorhees, long two-line pass up ahead for Glazer. Glazer takes a hit, leaves the puck for Mann. Mann delivers a reverse check as he saw the contact coming, but Rivas able to cover up for the whistle. And now Cobley with some extra words for Glazer after the whistle. Patrick says Cobley's going to the box. Much to the amusement of the Maverick faithful here, who have just started to wake from their slumber they've been in for the first half of this first period, and still protesting that call. He's got to be careful here, is Evan Cobley. Begging the official to change his mind. That usually doesn't work. As he takes a seat in the box, the Mavericks get their first power play of the game. A great chance to equalize here. They're down 2-1 in the second. Ethan Cobley to the box, gives the Mavericks their first power play chance of the evening. Glazer shatters his stick, possibly on that slash from Cobley. Still doing some defensive work, though he's in the box, is Cobley. Ryan Hedquist with a head of steam up the right wing side. He's all the way in coast to coast. He loops behind the net, trying to find Tessier. It's poked out front, and ASU clears. First power play of the game for Omaha. They enter with a 40% clip, a 40% success rate, I should say, at 6 goals on 15 total power play opportunities through the first 3 games of the season. This is their first chance tonight as the puck stopped along the back wall. 2 Sun Devils doing battle with 3 Mavericks there, and out with it comes Tessier. Omaha wins possession along the back wall. It's out to the point for Lowndes. Lowndes to the top of the zone, stops, gives it back down to Tessier, top of the circle. Tessier holds, looks, walks it in, tried to find Hedquist in the slot. Wound up pass, wound up stick, but Stasica able to get his on that for ASU and clear the zone. 45 seconds and ticking away on the Mavericks' first power play of the game. The penalty given to Cobley as Farnsworth skates it in. ASU does a good job to get it to center ice. Picked up by Jurkinen, dances around a hit from Voorhees, gives it to a man who I thought was offside in Allison, and he sends one high up above Moore. Out to center ice with 20 seconds on the Maverick man advantage. Getting to it is Lewis. He dumps it in. Cam Moore stops it behind the cage with 10 seconds to go. Voorhees shakes off a hit. Now it's to Wagner. Toe drags around one man. Gives it to Farnsworth as he crosses the line. Across ice to Fitch. He couldn't find him on the doorstep. Tracking it down. Giving it to the slot. Wagner. Pass down to Shermer. He couldn't get the shot away. ASU back to 5-on-5 after killing off that penalty. They're 1-for-1 on the night as Fitch brings it in on the attack. Full strength. Shoots it, and it's off the cage left. Off the back of the cage as Fitch took a hit right after that. And Shermer going to respond to that one. And he takes a punch into the cage. The 2 going after it in the crease. That's 15. Wheeljack just delivering a heavy blow right into the cage of Tyler Shermer. Shermer sticking up for the freshman Fitch, who stays down behind the play. Shermer to the box again. Playing a little cat and mouse with the official as to who is going to open that penalty box door. Fitch remains down behind the Sun Devil bench. Now the trainer gets Fitch sat upright. He was laying prostrate on the ice. Now sitting up is Carson Fitch, freshman out of Sioux City, playing in his 4th game for the Mavericks. As Fitch helped back up to his skates. Applause from all the fans here. Glad to see that Carson Fitch is all right. The former Sioux City Metro skates back to the bench. And it's time for the referees to deliberate and deal. Still talking there are the officials inside the referee's arc. Waiting just outside are their respective captains from the Sun Devils and the Mavericks. Tyler Tremoroli for ASU and Cam Fories for Omaha. 2 men have gone into the box for the Sun Devils now. We will wait as explanations being given. First to the coach of the Sun Devils, Joe Lappin. As we wait, with 5 minutes left in the second, it's a 2-1 ASU lead. It appears Omaha will get a man advantage out of this. Simply out of sheer numbers in the box, 2-1. Coach Harrahill draws his guys in, using this time wisely to chat with his bunch, regain some composure, and possibly swing this game back even. It's been a long stoppage since the shot from Fitch, the save, and the ensuing drama. Well, the officials still needing a bit more time with this one. The teams are out to center right, or to the face-off dot to the right of Rivas. By numbers on the ice, it's 5-on-4, Mavericks to Sun Devils. And yes, a 5-minute penalty. A major penalty being doled out to the Sun Devils. That's 15, Nick Riljack for the hit. The illegal hit delivered on Fitch. Omaha to the power play for the second time in this period, the second time in this game. And Glazer has it, shoots one, stick up into the netting by Rivas. 8 seconds into this major penalty. No misconduct given with it as Riljack's allowed to stay in the game and in the box. Potentially a 10-minute misconduct given. That would be the only reason you would need 2 in there. Is Hedquist sends one off a body, picks that rebound up, leaving it for Glazer. That's man to Lowndes. Lowndes to Glazer. From the hash marks, Blake Glazer holds back to the top of the zone for Lowndes. And it's not actually a 5-minute power play, according to the announcing. It's a double minor. Lowndes to Glazer. Glazer works into the slot. We'll figure out the penalties later. It's loose in front. Blocked out and cleared by the Sun Devils. All we know is 5 minutes are showing up on the board, which means if the Mavericks were to score, they would still get the remainder of the penalty. And there it is announced. 5-minute major for boarding as Hedquist works in. Shoots one, save made Rivas. Cleared out by ASU. Moore has to stop it behind his cage. So double minors given to Shermer of the Mavericks and Fitzpatrick of the Sun Devils. Additionally, a 5-minute major for head contact given to Real Jack. Wagner into the zone, gives it to Voorhees, down low to Farnsworth. Wagner back to Farnsworth. His stick's caught in the Zamboni door on the far side. He has to leave it there. ASU able to clear on the 4-on-4 briefly as Farnsworth gets his stick back, a new twig from his teammates. And here the Mavericks come. 3-on-2 odd man rush. Voorhees has it, leaves it for Shea, shoots wide left. Oh, and he can't clear the zone. That's Jurkinen. Voorhees picks it back up. Shot, save made by Rivas. It's out in front. Hits a broken stick. Farnsworth able to collect. Across to the point for Voorhees. Winds up, shoots one, blocked out in front. And the Sun Devils able to clear by way of Evan Cobley. And back on the other side, Jim Casper ripping that stick out of the boards and handing it back to the Maverick bench. Out with it on the power play comes Cam Voorhees. A 5-minute major penalty given to 15 Nick Realjack of the Sun Devils. We're halfway through that with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the second. Up skates Chase Mann. Only goal for the Mavericks so far as Mann takes it behind the cage, pins it up against the wall, and will wait for help. Help comes in the way of Wagner and Hedquist. Wyatt Wagner skates with it behind the goal crease, giving it to Charlie Lowndes, back down low to Mann. That's Tessier now. As he can't hang on to it, it's cleared to center where Charlie Lowndes picks it up. ASU sends one man off. Lowndes takes it into the offensive zone going down low. Usually he's up top where he sends the pass for Hedquist. Hedquist back to Lowndes. Works in. Down low. Pass shot. Save made. That was Chase Mann waiting there on the post. He instead gives it to Glazer. Glazer to Hedquist along the point. Minute and a half left on this power play. Shot in from Mann, and it's stopped by Rivas. ASU able to get it to center ice. Their crowd beginning to make some noise here on the east side of Liberty First Credit Union Arena as Glazer works back in. Shoots one, shoulder save Rivas. Still in danger as Lowndes catches it. Charlie Lowndes sends one on. Blocked out in front. Another shot blocked. And here comes ASU on a possible 2-on-0. ASU's Cole Allison works in, shoots off the crossbar, and it stays out. Oh, man, he had more beat, but he couldn't beat the pipe. And it rings off as Omaha, with under a minute to go on the man advantage, get it back into the offensive zone, but it's controlled by ASU. Lifted off the glass, where it's taken in offside by Evan Cobley on a dangerous try from the Sun Devils. The two men serving the double minors, both number 4s for their squads, Shermer of the Mavericks and Fitzpatrick of the Sun Devils, head back to their player benches after serving their double minors. We have 44 seconds left on the Mavericks' second power play of the game. It is a 5-minute major for a head contact penalty on Nick Realjack. There's a minute 10 left in the second period. ASU, the only tally in this marker. And it's Farnsworth as Omaha trails 2-1. He sends one on, tipped a couple of times, still loose. Taken down in front is, I believe that's Shermer, being held down still in the crease. Wagner gets it up top to Farnsworth. Across to Voorhees, shot tipped wide. Farnsworth, weak pass, gets it to Voorhees anyway. Wagner back to Voorhees. 12 seconds left on the power play and ticking away. Across ice from Farnsworth to Wagner. He spins into the corner. Turns out, shoulder save by Rivas. ASU out of the box as they block a shot down in front. Switching then quickly and getting a potential look was Fitzpatrick, but he couldn't catch up to the pass, and with 15 seconds left, Omaha gets it out of the zone. ASU dumps it down with 10 seconds remaining in the period. Voorhees on the attack. Halts his man in the corner. It's given down low to Trinelli. Passed out front with 1 second and none. Moore makes the last second stop as the period expires. 2-1. Arizona State leads Omaha as we will head to the intermission. But before that, a quick chat with Coach Harryhill coming up. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're going to want to hear this right here on the UNOACHA Mavericks page. All right, fans, I'm joined by Coach Harryhill of the Omaha Mavericks. Coach, down 2-1 heading into the final period of play. What do you got to do to get the equalizer and finish this with a victory?
We're just not really playing our game right now. Our game is speed, and we're just kind of trying to play cute. We just got to get stuff in. We got to drive the net harder. That's the biggest thing. We're not getting to the net hard. I think we start doing that, we'll find success.
A lot of physical play, especially in that second period. We saw men go down from each side. How do you keep your team disciplined in the third as things start to ramp up?
If you want to win, you're going to be disciplined. Simple enough.
I saw during the injury and while they were deciphering the penalties, you called your team over, had a brief huddle with them, and it was pretty loud. What was the message to the squad there?
If we want to win, we got to go right now. We didn't answer the bell there, so we have 20 minutes to answer the bell now.
Well, good luck to you, Coach. Thank you.
Thanks, Nate.
That was Coach Harryhill of the Omaha Mavericks. Closing out this second period, we'll be right back with you for period number 3 right here at Liberty First Credit Union Arena. And welcome back one final time from Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Ralston. Nate Obrecht, Caden McDermott, Easton Mesher here with you for the final period of 3 between the Omaha Mavericks and Arizona State Sun Devils. After 2 periods of play, it is ASU leading Omaha by a score of 2-1. Omaha let up the lone goal allowed by either side in the second period. That one coming on the power play and off the stick blade of C.J. Lavelle. Lavelle with the only tally. We had a lot of action by way of penalties, as the Mavericks continue to lead in shots by a total of 31-23 entering the final frame. This will wrap up the Omaha Showdown. After this, a Thursday and Friday night split with Missouri is on deck. Those games will be back at Baxter Arena, 10 p.m. on Thursday night, the 25th, and 9:30 p.m. on Friday night, the 26th. That all to get prepared for the Mavericks Black and Crimson scrimmage on the 27th, before their first week of games in the regular season, playing in the NCAA Division I and the National Collegiate Hockey Conference. Still more to deal with in ACHA land as it's dumped in on the Mavericks defensive side, and it'll be an icing. But yes, the main Mavs get started with the inter-squad scrimmage next Saturday, and then a week from then, they get set to take on Air Force in their first home game of the year. Before the face-off, 8 seconds into the period, whistles for misconduct between Fitzpatrick and Mann. Pass. Springs Glazer free. He's going to be the first one to it. Save for the goalie Rivas, who brushes it away from Blake. Mann loses the puck. Tessier crunches a guy along the wall, trying to win that one back. Omaha down 2-1. They have not trailed at all in this Omaha Showdown presented by Capper Hockey Services. They have now trailed for just over half a period tonight. As Chase Mann gets it back up to Glazer, the pair work for the equalizer. Glazer from the hash marks, moves around one man, can't shake around to second. It's picked up by Lavelle in a dangerous area. Lavelle able to stick with it, taking it up the ice. Dumps it down, Moore sticks it to Cam Fories. Intercepted at the high point, picked off and shot on by Cobley. Deflected around, it goes behind the cage, picked up again by the Sun Devils. Spinning and getting it back to the point. To Cobley it goes. Cross ice to Allison. Allison pressured off the puck by Shermer. Shermer, very physical game today. Gets that puck out with a great bit of body contact. Minute and a half into the third. Cam Forey skates out with it. Oh, that's Glazer. The two tall skaters. 116, 118. Wearing black and crimson today. Zach Farnsworth carries into the offensive zone. Shoulders into a man as ASU takes possession in the D zone. Picked up there by Cobley. He lifts it up into the sky. Knocked down off a high stick from Allison, and Omaha has a chance to breathe. For Farnsworth, he takes it into the offensive zone. Shoots it, and it's into the glove of Rivas. He covers and holds. May have been deflected off of Cobley out front. Omaha appearing to have all sorts of energy, though they're in their third game of the weekend and fourth of the season. ASU on the opposite side looks adequately replenished as well, as we are just 2 minutes into the third period, and out skates Lavelle for ASU. Turned over as he entered the zone. Fitch takes it back out. Good to see Carson Fitch back out on the ice after taking that nasty check behind the ASU goal mouth, and a shot comes on from Badam. Pad save as it was glancing wide off of Moore. Puck dumped in on the attack from Dom Pawlatis for the Sun Devils. Grabbed by Fitch. He gets it to Shermer and out of the zone. Hedquist screaming after it. Lightning fast speed through Ryan Hedquist. Forces the pressure that gives Shermer the puck below the goal line. Shermer crunched up along the wall by a couple of Sun Devils. He turns it back towards the near corner. And Zach Farnsworth, who can't contain it. It's out to center ice. Carson Fitch back in with it. Fitch moves around one man. Skates to the safety of the wall. Tries to center it to Shea. It's in between a couple of skates. Fitch couldn't keep it in, and now all alone is Connor Sessa. Sessa works in on Moore. Makes a move, but Moore shuts him down point blank in the crease. Cameron Moore with a great save, keeping that puck out and keeping the ASU lead right where it is as Omaha gains possession in the defensive zone and clears to center. What a save. Cameron Moore as a turnover, potentially in the offensive zone by almost forced by Kraut, and coming back in offside into the ASU zone was Drake Sullivan. Just an insane stop from the sophomore out of St. Catharines, Ontario, and the Kansas City Jets. Cameron Moore, the last line of defense for Omaha, and he stood tall, making that great pad save and shutting down Connor Sessa. ASU keeps it in the zone. They play it down low. Sullivan shot in. Moore makes the save, and the net comes off as he pushed off, forcing a stoppage and a face-off to his right. A second shy of 4 minutes into the third. Nothing to report, but good saves on both sides as our score remains 2-1. Kraut on the draw for Omaha. Fitzpatrick wins it for the Sun Devils. Shot off a body. Playing it down low is Kaplan. Shea gets it to the point but not out. Held in. Kaplan looking for a pass. Good hit by Shea. Forces a bad pass, and out with it comes Kraut. 3-on-2 come the Mavs. Kraut into the slot. Wrists one, and it's saved away. Losing his stick in the process is Braden Kraut. Gets it to Wagner, still behind the cage. Comes out front. Delivers a hit as he gets the shot off, and it's saved by Rivas. To center ice it goes for Rocco DeSpirito, who dumps it back in. Rivas passes it right into a stick of a Mav. Out into the slot for Cassiopo. He can't find it in his skates. Now he catches it, shoots it, and it's a diving block. Still loose in front somewhere. And as the whistle blows, puck may have hit the netting, as the linesman indicated. He pointed up to the black net right in front of that Omaha Junior Lancers National Champions logo. Under those face masks and ball caps are some familiar faces on that ginormous poster here inside Liberty First Credit Union Arena. The head coach of that squad is now the head coach of the Mavericks, Nick Harahill, as Cassiopo sends one on into the shin pads of the defense. Another drive from Cassiopo, and it's high, wide. Hadfield centers it back. Intercepted by Allison, and he skates out. Oh, that was offside as Allison entered the zone. Picking up his leg was Ubrig, but he picked up the right leg that was skating the blue line. So one miss by the officials. Cassiopo coming in. Shoots one, pad save. Rivas. Shea centers it back. No one's home. It's picked back up by Ubrig. Tipped ahead by Shea, making sure Allison couldn't connect with it. And Lowndes takes it from behind his own net. Charlie Lowndes, the big freshman, has Cassiopo with him as he moves in. Played off of his stick as he tried to enter the slot. Glazer dumps it back down low to Lowndes. Across for Farnsworth, and he couldn't get the shot away. He was coming in a little too quick for him, and Farnsworth maybe a little too much time and space to work with. It's Tessier keeping it in to Mann. Mann shoots one. Rivas has some trouble covering it. Sent a juicy rebound out for a second, but got back on it to hope for the whistle. The other familiar faces on that poster are one Rocco DeSpirito, one Wyatt Wagner, one Zach Farnsworth, and a slew of other high school Division II national champions. That was won right on this ice in the 2021 season. Here comes Glazer, skating in, taking off the puck. It's still in the zone for Beth. Beth to Tessier, tried to get it to man. Too far for his stick, and the defense of the Sun Devils picks it back up. Beth rushes it down low. Intercepted by Kaplan. He gets it to his winger, and it's out of the ASU end. Beth with 13 and a half to go in the contest. Omaha trailing 2-1. Nothing across from either side here in the third. Mason Beth below his own goal line. Leaves it for Tessier. Tessier can't clear. It's kept in at the line. Big hit delivered from Chase Mann on Adam Kaplan. No orange arms in the air. They're letting him play now. Man, another hit on Kaplan, and he sends him to the ice for the second time this shift. It's down below the goal line for Dirk Schneider for the Mavericks. He centers it out to Tessier. Sends it around himself. Now over the red line. Gets it into the offensive zone. It's in the skates of Tessier. He still has it. Trying to find Glazer. Tessier working against the Sun Devil defense, and they are able to poke him free of the puck. 3-on-2 comes ASU. Another narrowly offside play. They're entering the zone with such speed, but the forwards are taking not the direct route into the zone, and it's causing some weird optical illusions, perhaps, as a puck out of play gives us a draw to the left of Cameron Moore. Regardless of the outcome today, Omaha is 12 minutes and 37 seconds away from being awarded the trophy for the first ever Omaha Showdown champions. Shot wide right, didn't test more with that one. Back out to the point. Cobley sends another one left. Down low in the corner, it's grabbed by the Sun Devils, working with him there. Tyler Shermer. It's back out to the point for ASU. Fitch can't win possession back. It's down low. Voorhees finally gets onto it for Omaha. Shermer to Hedquist, and the Sioux City Kids come in 2-on-1. Hedquist with a shot. Picks up his own rebound, and two great saves from Rebas. Keeps the puck out of the net and keeps the Sun Devil lead intact. Now a dangerous hit from Shermer, and that one will draw the arm in the air of Patrick Fabian. ASU lifts that one to center, and as Lowndes touches up, Shermer is off to the box for the third time tonight. Shermer getting very familiar with our two officials, as well as David Olson and Joe Capper in the penalty box. As Omaha back to the penalty kill. Third time tonight. As Shermer given the penalty for a check from behind. It comes just 8 minutes into the third. Gives the Sun Devils their third power play of the game. Out to the point. Went across ice for Cobley. Played off a Maverick shin pad, but ASU still on it. LaBelle. Given a cross. Shot saved by Moore. Another one on the rebound. And he holds for the whistle. A minute and a half remaining on the penalty given to Tyler Shermer. ASU has held the puck in the offensive zone for this whole power play so far, as Moore sends a blocker shot up and over the cage. Puck on top of the net. They'll dig for it for a second before the referee has to blow the whistle. Looks like they've got it jarred free as it's won back by the Sun Devils. Pass across. And now down low it goes to Lavelle. Ahead again. It's passed out to Wendt. He shoots one. It's deflected by Dirk Schneider wide. Behind the cage, Tramaroli gives it to the point again for Lavelle. Across, and as the whistle blows, the net off once more behind Cam Moore. .42 seconds remain on the third power play for the Sun Devils. They lead this one 2-1, though Omaha has controlled the shot total since halfway through the first period and now lead 34-28 in shots. Moore has made 26 saves in his second start of the season. He made 14 in the first 30 minutes in the win against Platteville last Sunday. Omaha wins the draw, but pinned up against the glass was Glazer, and ASU takes possession. Down to Kaplan. Across to Sessa. Sessa shut down by Moore on that breakaway chance earlier this period as the pass comes back out to the point for Kaplan. Along the wall to Ubrig. Back to Kaplan up top of the zone. Shot saved by Moore. A little bit of jostling in front as Pawlatis not leaving the Maverick defense alone. As 8 seconds remain on the Maverick penalty kill. Goalie coach Ben Johnson of the Mavericks standing behind Moore, watching his sophomore goaltender Johnson, also in his second season with Omaha, as the goalie coach coming over again from Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Another familiar face on that poster. Shot blocked by the stick of Hedquist. He's got to go retrieve a new one after parrying that one aside. Lowndes sends it out. Couldn't find Hedquist. It's intercepted. Kept in for a moment. Omaha clears the ice right as the penalty expires, and that one will go down for icing. So Omaha back to full strength. 2 for 3 on the penalty kill tonight. But now we'll have a defensive zone draw to deal. Shermer, Hedquist, and Fitch, the offensive line out there for Omaha, as Shermer breaks his stick on the faceoff. Shot in, shoulder saved by Cam Moore. Great save from Camo as Lowndes plays it back out to Hedquist. Hedquist tries to skate through 3 Sun Devils, and it's played off of his stick by C.J. Lavelle. Below the goal line. Winning it back is Fitch. Tried to find Shermer, instead it gets to the point for Lowndes. Lowndes looks across, finds Farnsworth off a body. To the slot for Fitch, sends one towards the net, and it's covered up and held by Rivas. Rivas makes his 34th stop on 35 Maverick opportunities tonight. He has been very busy in that goal crease in his first start, the freshman out of South Surrey, British Columbia. As Arizona State takes possession off the draw. To the wall it goes, and it's picked up by McCanian. He can't clear as Omaha sends it up into neutral ice. ASU picks it up in their own zone. The two defensive pairings just trading passes back and forth. The Sun Devils and Mavericks. As finally a pass gloved down at center ice by Sessa. He dumps it around. Moore traps it behind his own goal. Picking it up there is a Sun Devil. Omaha doing a great job to win possession back as Shea. Oh my goodness, that cannot be a penalty. Charlie Shea going to be called off. And taking Sessa down on that one We'll see what the call is. Oh, no, they are taking Sessa as well. So Shea goes. That's not right. But Sessa goes in as well for taking down Charlie Shea with the leg hold. You could see it as the two landed on the ice. Number 19 in white had those gold stockings wrapped around the leg of Charlie Shea when it appeared that Shea just pulled right over him. In fact, it was Sessa doing a little bit of gamesmanship on the defense. We appear to be 4 aside. As the Sun Devils asking for an explanation, we'll show them the replay after the game. As arms all the way extended from an unrostered number 28 today, wearing the jersey of one Cade Gramlich, who we were told was not playing. Gramlich, or the Sun Devil in Gramlich's jersey, extends his arms up to Pearson, and Pearson now beginning to argue with the officials. Pearson, of course, the coach, Lappin, the coach of the Sun Devils, getting in the ear of Rob Fitzpatrick. Now a really late line change for the Sun Devils. Omaha supposed to have the last change as the right of the home team, but if you'd remember, ASU listed as home in this neutral site clash. And we will be 4 aside for the next 2 minutes. The penalties coming at 8:31 or 11:31 of the third, and we'll make the game 4-on-4 for the next minute and 38 seconds. ASU has had the puck in the offensive zone for the first 30 seconds of these 4-on-4 skates. Hit below the goal line by Charlie Lowndes, frees the puck up, and Omaha is able to clear to center. Chasing back after that one is Kaplan, but turns it over as Glazer winning it back for a second, but out of the own zone comes Tremoroli for ASU. He leaves it for Lavelle. Shot wide left of Cameron Moore. It goes up and over the net behind. Glazer picks it up and skates it out for the Mavs. Glazer in on the attack. Makes a move around one man. Shoots it off the blocker of Rivas. What a look for Blake Glazer. Skating in all alone. Farnsworth gloves that clearance attempt down at center. Picking it up and skating it in is the Sun Devil in Gramlich's uniform. Below the goal line, he has it. He's digging for it with his teammate, Dylan Fitzpatrick. Hedquist wins that puck out for the Mavs. Here they come on a 3-on-2. It's to Fitch. Tip shot for Shermer, and it's wide. Couldn't find the stick blade of Tyler Shermer as he turns back into the slot. Shermer shoots one. It's off a shin pad. Loose out in front, and ASU able to get it to safety. High off the glass. And it's sent down. Picking it up is 14. Allison in white. As Fitch is taken down with a slash, Allison's going to be headed off to the box. Shooting one on net as he takes the penalty. And Omaha will have 2 seconds of a 4-on-3 power play to work with before having a minute and 58 seconds on the regular 5-on-4. As Sun Devil fans asking for embellishment on the Mavericks. Not a common call at this level, but sure. So only one penalty coming, and it is on the Sun Devils. No embellishment there at 13:23. Shea is out of the box along with Sessa. 5-on-4 power play for the Mavs. Their fourth opportunity of the night. Tessier shoots one on. Can't get it through the defense. Now picking it up and clearing it is Stasica. Lowndes knocks that puck down to himself. Now takes it behind the net of Cam Moore as the Mavs look to get set up on this breakout. Man can't catch up to it, and it's dumped all the way back down. According to our public address announcer, that's Jason Horner in the box. As Lowndes takes possession of the top of the zone. Shot tipped and it's in! We're tied! Here in the late going, 5:48 left in the third to be exact. It's Ryan Hedquist, the team leader in goals, now gets his 6th tally and extends his goal-scoring streak to 4 games to start the year. Holy moly! We're tied at 2. The Mavericks on the power play, well, they have been absolutely electric through the first 4 games of this season, and Hedquist, lightning in his own right. At 14-12 on the power play, the tip shot from Lowndes to Hedquist beats Rivas and levels this one at 2. Cassiopo quickly back in, sends that one in. Rivas deflects that one up into the netting as Hedquist from Lowndes and Glazer, the 2 assists on the goal, the equalizing tally from Ryan Hedquist. ASU wins the draw in a level game. That's Fitzpatrick clearing it out to center. Cam Forries takes it back in, leaves it for James Shea. Shea turns one on net, deflected up high and to the opposite corner. Picked up there by Lewis, and the Sun Devils are able to clear to center ice where Cam Forries, the assistant captain of the Mavs, dumps it back in. Takes a hit from Lavelle there along the Sun Devil bench as ASU gains possession and takes it from left to right. Cassiopo had that for a moment but couldn't shake around one man. ASU still has to touch up. Offside still are the Sun Devils, and they finally get back on with under 5 minutes to go. Long stretch pass up ahead for Wyatt Wagner. 2-on-1 for the Mavs. Shot, diving, sprawling block, rebound, chance saved by Rivas. Great effort there, first from Brendan Lewis on defense, and then from Rivas to stop the rebound as the Mavs were bearing down, looking for the go-ahead goal. To the wall. Lewis can't hang on to it, outskates Wagner. 2 Sun Devils back against Wagner, and they win the puck back to center ice. Dumped into the zone by the Mavericks, and it's picked up by ASU. Lewis looks off one man, giving it to Kaplan. He can't get through the neutral zone before Omaha takes possession back. Now it's Kaplan. Sends it to himself. No hand pass on that one. A bank pass off the glass. Intercepted by Farnsworth of the Mavs, giving it to Charlie Shea. He can't hang on at center ice as we're under 4 minutes to go. Dumped in on the attack by Badam. Kept behind the goal by Moore for a second, and he sends it up the near wall. Along the line, Kaplan dumps it down low. First to it. Going to be Glazer for the Mavericks. Can't keep it, though. Out in front, a shot save made by Cam Moore on Cole Allison, who was waiting in a dangerous position to try to give the Sun Devils the lead. Moore said no, and with 3:37, a defensive zone draw for the Mavericks. It's going to be Glazer, Tessier, and Mann on the attack. Lowndes and Forries on defense out in front of Cam Moore. Moore's made 29 saves tonight as Omaha gets that puck out of the zone. Glazer was trying to get there, had his stick lifted by the defense. Mann first to it below the goal line to Glazer. It's played off of his stick, and ASU takes it behind the goal line. Out with it skates Pawlatis. Cross ice to Dylan Wendt. Wendt swerves off a hip check from Forries, passing it below the goal line now, back out front, and a shot goes wide off the stick blade of Badam. To the near side corner, to a side collide. Lowndes gets that one to Forries as the Mavericks gain possession in their own end, but Forries missing the glass there and sends it up into the netting with 2:58 to go in the third. That'll prevent Omaha from getting a line change as ASU taking advantage and getting some fresh troops on the ice. The Mavericks off the bull rush on the draw, win it straight forward, and Glazer has it out of the zone. Ahead to Chase Mann. Mann in, shoots, it's off a shin pad of a defender, and out. Mann tracks his own rebound to the neutral zone. He gets it over to Charlie Lowndes, who skates across center ice, leaving it for Blake Glazer and dancing around a check. Glazer takes it back towards the center dot before giving it to Tessier, who skates in. Cross ice to the corner for Shermer. 2.5 minutes remain in the game. This Shermer taken down below the goal line, giving it to the other Carnier, Blake Glazer. He turns it over there. It's given to Cobley. Cobley starting up with it for ASU. Dumps it in on the attack. It goes to the near side corner where Chase Mann picks it up, and a charging call potentially coming as Lowndes compounds it by barreling over a Sun Devil. Fitch dodges a hit, looking like he's going to take another as delayed call coming. 6-on-5 for the Mavs here as Wyatt Wagner controls. Across to Fitch, waiting on the wings for Shermer. He couldn't get the shot off. As with 1:55 left, that's Cam Forey slow to get to the bench. Shaken up off of a nasty hit. And if Lowndes is going to the box, the whistle should have been blown. Omaha should not have had those scoring opportunities, as that was not a delayed penalty at that point. The fighting continuing in the box as we are under 2 minutes, and we will be at 4-on-4. 18:05 to go in the third. Omaha's latest goal from Ryan Hedquist on the power play with the assist from Lowndes and Glazer has this one level at 2. Arizona State went to overtime in last night's game. And now exiting the box, heading off for potentially the game, and making sure he gets his words in edgewise as he skates off and will not complete this game, Evan Cobley. Good riddance, Evan Cobley, as he heads off, trying to give it to the crowd here, and he skates to the locker room for the rest of the game. He's off. Lowndes will be taken to the box as Cobley not letting up easily. He's going back to watch on YouTube, he says, as we thank all of you for tuning in to the UNO ACHA Mavericks channel here on YouTube. As we welcome Cobley into the stream, you can light up that chat as we decipher the calls with 1:55 to play and a major penalty showing on the board given to Evan Cobley. I have not seen Forey's up yet. He was the one taken down off of that nasty and illegal hit from Cobley, who has been given the proper penalty of a major and game misconduct. Serving the penalty for the Sun Devils will be number 3, Anthony Goose. He'll sit for 5, which will be the remainder of the third period. Lowndes in the box as well. We'll wait and hear what David Olson has to give us for the penalty and time on how long Charlie Lowndes will be in the box. Omaha with 5 on their side. The Sun Devils only allowed 4 on the ice after the major penalty and game misconduct given to Ethan Cobley. The Mavericks, with a great chance after equalizing this one late, now have 1:50 to work with, as Glazer will have to enter the offensive zone again. Here comes Glazer, taking it down to the corner. Behind the net it goes. Blake still with possession for the Mavs. Give and go to Tessier. Tessier to the center of the net. Shot through Hedquist. It beat Rivas, but the Sun Devils were able to get on it before it crossed the goal line, and they send it up into the netting for a whistle with 1:32. Puck must have deflected off of something as ASU allowed the change here late. And Omaha wins that one straight back to the defense. Farnsworth to Glazer, down to Hedquist and back again. Glazer shakes off a man to Hedquist. Backhand pass, no look to Tessier. Tessier to Glazer. Glazer loops towards the top of the zone. Now starts in with it. Holbrook shoots. It's off a body in front and goes wide. Now another shot. Knocks the bottle off of the netting, but does not beat Rivas. Cleared out into the bench as Farnsworth tried to keep that one. It heads into the Sun Devils' side. And with 1 minute and 8 seconds to play, we'll have a neutral zone face-off in front of the ASU bench. What a contest it has been tonight. We ended the first period in a 1-1 draw after ASU opened the scoring. They netted the go-ahead goal 2-1, which they carried to the end of the second period. And as we near the final minute of play, Ryan Hedquist with a goal at 14 minutes and 12 seconds into the third period has this game level. Hedquist has it again. He skates in, dances around a check, a dangerous one at that, from the jersey of Gramlich. Shooting for Hedquist. Rebound chance goes behind the cage. It's cleared by the Sun Devils. Bringing it around the dasher and all the way down. Cam Moore forced out of his cage to get it with 33 and change to go. 33. Now to 28 seconds as Farnsworth skates it up. Omaha looking to sweep the Omaha Showdown. They need a goal late. ASU clears it but not out. Hedquist can't kick it back to his stick blade, and it does leak over the blue line with 15 and going away on the board. Moore halts it with 10 seconds. Hedquist, fastest guy on the team, starts up with it. Airborne pass to Chase Mann. He can't catch up with it with 4 seconds and 3. Mann still below the goal line as the penalty, the period expires, and we head to overtime. Shots 41-32 in favor of the Mavericks. The only goal that period coming off the stick blade of Ryan Hedquist, the freshman out of Sioux City and the team's leader with 6 goals. Well, the first 2 contests of this Omaha Showdown for the Mavericks ended in 4 and 5 goal spreads respectively. They beat Miami of Ohio 7-3 on Friday night before shutting out Western Michigan with help from Nowelvayan in net on Saturday. This is the first time Omaha will play an overtime game in the 25-26 season. A season ago, the Mavs were not as spectacular in the extra minute. They still have not lost in a shootout in program history, but Omaha lost 5 times and 7 chances last season in overtime games. Five minutes on the board. It will be a 3-on-4 OT to start. We'll have 3 minutes and 6 seconds of a power play for the Mavericks. A hockey team is not allowed to have less than 3 skaters and 1 goalie on the ice at a time. So, in lieu of a player going off for ASU, Omaha gets to add an extra attacker. And should the penalty expire, the ASU player would come back out, making it 4-on-4 until a whistle when we can get back to 3-on-3 play. But we will start out 4-on-3. The 4 on the ice for the Mavs. Carson Fitch and Tyler Shermer. On defense, it's Dirk Schneider and Mason Beth. For ASU on defense, Zach Yurkinen, Adam Kaplan, and Dylan Wendt. As Omaha takes first possession here in OT. That's Fitch. Up to Dirk Schneider. Back to Fitch at the blue line. Fitch to Beth. Down low for Shermer. Looks towards the net. Save made, and another one by Rivas. 2 there in quick succession from Shermer. Puck cleared down by ASU. Moore there to get it. As Yurkinen heads off and will change for the player wearing Cade Gramlich's jersey. Ahead is Carson Fitch. moving through the defense. Can't hang on to it, and it's to the back wall. Played out. Dirk Schneider gets it there for the Mavs. Noah Dirk Schneider. Down low. Over to Beth. Now to Shermer. Shot up and knocked aside. To the back wall it goes. Picked up by the Mavs once more. Dirk Schneider to the point for Beth. Mason Beth. Back to Noah Dirk Schneider. Dirk Schneider moves in. Curls back towards the top of the zone and gives to Beth. 2 minutes, 40 seconds remain on the man advantage. 3:50 in overtime. Dirk Schneider fires one, and it's blocked out in front. Great play from Dylan Went. Now diving at it. He's able to get that one cleared out of the zone for ASU. Beth there to retrieve it. Has Dirk Schneider streaking up the ice. A two-line pass to him. Looking across, but great sticks there from Dylan Fitzpatrick. Keeps that one from getting over into the slot. Digging it out is Tyler Shermer, still working for it there. It's across to Brendan Lewis, but not out. Picking it off there in the offensive zone is Blake Glazer. Glazer skates from one side of the zone to the other. Now from the short side, shoots. It's off a man in front. That's Lewis. Farnsworth tracks it, gives it to Tessier, top of the zone. The two trade places. It's to Man. Man shoots, and it's into the glove of Rivas, who holds for his 42nd save of the game. What a debut for Kai Rivas. Allowed less than 2 goals a game over 17 starts with the Islanders Hockey Club a season ago. Did Kai Rivas. He's allowed 2 here to the Mavs. As they're back on the attack, it's Tessier giving it to Glazer. Glazer looks, holds, shoots, and it's saved right into the Sun Devil logo of Rivas. 92 seconds left on the major penalty given to a fellow spectator now, Evan Cobley. Serving that one is Anthony Goose as the Mavs have it off the draw. Top of the zone, it's across. Hedquist winds up, shoots, and it's a diving, blocking save from Stasica. Down low, Wagner can't hang on to it in the corner. Lifts the stick of Jurkinen and keeps it. Taking it behind the cage in the offensive zone is Wagner. Looking for a man out front, it's Dirk Schneider. He had it there, but a save made by Rivas. Dirk Schneider still with the puck. Noah Dirk Schneider finds Charlie Lowndes. 2 minutes and change remain in overtime. Under a minute on the power play. Hedquist starts one way, goes the other. Shot blocked out by Wagner on defense. Or on the attack for Omaha is a breakout pass sent screaming into the Mavericks bench. Sends everyone ducking for cover. And ducking for cover, speaking of, those ragtag mismatched socks from the Sun Devils reminded me of a certain squad up in District 5 in Minnesota. As they'll take the defensive zone draw on the penalty kill with 49 seconds. Glazer has that one in the offensive zone. Holds, looks, gives across to Farnsworth. He can't hang on to it as it's picked off. Skating out with it is Brendan Lewis. Man taken down on the play. And winning it back out were the Sun Devils. Backhand shot goes way over the net. Might have needed 2 nets to hit that one. And Glazer picks it up in the defensive end. Skating across the center ice, red as off of the penalty kill are the Sun Devils. They kill the 5-minute major as Glazer looks. We're back to 4-on-4 hockey. Farnsworth down low to Glazer again. Leaves it for Mann below the net. Chase Mann trying to find Farnsworth as ASU gets to it, sending it the length of the ice. A wobbling puck. Doesn't look like it's going to get to the goal line, and it doesn't. Has to cross that red line to be icing. That one did not, and Shermer there to retrieve it. Trying to send one off the wall to Fitz behind the defense as we're down to a minute remaining in OT. Hedquist, best chance of the period, shoots it, and it's wide right. Rivas got the pad on it anyway as Hedquist tried to start out front. Still 4-on-4. We have not had a whistle since Goose was let out of the box. Now taking it in are the Sun Devils. A shot, stick save from Moore. It goes into the corner. Picked up by Hedquist. He's taken down from behind by Allison. Orange Arm staying down in overtime. You can expect the whistles to be buried for the final 20 seconds as Fitch over the line and in. Carson Fitch holds, looks out to Hedquist, shoots, and it's off the mask of Rivas and up into the netting above the glass with 17 seconds. Timeout by Coach Harrahill. He calls his Mavs over. 17.1 seconds remain in overtime. Hedquist just had the best chance of the period. The 5-minute OT frame, moving into the slot and firing one low but wide right on Kai Rivas. Rivas up to 46 saves in his ACHA debut. Down on the opposite end, Cameron Moore has made 30 stops on 32 shots. Harrahill barking out some final instructions to the three men who will take the ice for the Mavs. Taking the ice for ASU are Nolan Stazika, Dylan Wendt, and Nick Realjack. Excuse me, that's Zach Jurkinen. So Jurkinen, Wendt, and Stazika opposite Glazer, Farnsworth, and Hedquist for the Mavs. And ASU wins the draw in their own zone. 15 seconds now as Wendt works back in. Great defense from Farnsworth, keeping that one right at the blue line. Ahead to Hedquist, 7 and 6 left. Glazer below the zone, he's got to hustle. 3 seconds remain. 2 and 1. He gets it to the point, but as the horn sounds, the shot on, and it was saved anyway by Rivas. We're headed to a shootout to solve this one. For the second straight game, ASU will be going to a shootout to wrap up the game. They are 0 for 1 in shootout so far, losing last night to Miami, Ohio, and not scoring a single goal in the frame. We'll see who they trot out there to take the 3 shots on the Sun Devils side. I'm equally as interested in our first shootout for the Mavericks to see who goes first. Deadlocked after 3 at 2-2. The only goal in the third coming from Ryan Hedquist. Deadlocked after 5 minutes of overtime. Omaha had a man advantage to work with for the majority of that OT frame, but couldn't get anything done with it. Now we head to a shootout, and 3 rounds will decide the fate of this game. Will it be Arizona State getting their first victory of the year after falling 0-1-1 in the first 2 games of the tournament? Or can the Mavericks sweep their inaugural Omaha Showdown and head into the regular season with a record of 4-0-0? All to be determined yet today. Here skates Farnsworth for the center ice circle. Zach Farnsworth will be heading towards the net in which his picture sits above. Farnsworth up first for the Mavs. Starts left. On the forehand, Zach Farnsworth, head fake, shoots, and it's in! Farnsworth beats Rivas low to the glove side, and Omaha up 1-0 here in the shootout on the first try. It's 91 C.J. Lavelle. With that black hockey taped 1 on his back right next to the 9. Held up through 4 periods. He shoots and beats Moore on the glove side. Now shoot for the Mavs. Number 13, he nets this one up at 1 apiece. And in comes the freshman out of Sioux City, Ryan Hedquist, the team leader in goals, works in, shoots it, and it's off the glove and off the bar, up into the rafters, and Hedquist 0 for 1 in the shootout. It'll turn back to the Sun Devils in the bottom of the second. The second shooter for ASU, Colin Ubrig. The freshman works in on Cam Moore. Releases one and it's wide left. Didn't even test the sophomore netminder. And we head to the third with a 1-1 shootout score. Third shooter and final one before sudden death, another freshman, Wyatt Wagner. Essentially had a shootout goal last night in the game against Western Michigan. Wagner works in, head fakes, holds, and it's a pad save from Rivas. It all comes down to this, and the stick blade of Tyler Tremoroli. It's the bottom of the third. If Tremoroli scores this, ASU wins its first game. If not, we head to sudden death in the shootout. Tremoroli works in, shoots 5-hole, and scores. It's over. So the Sun Devils walk into Liberty First Credit Union Arena with their ragtag socks and their mismatched numbers. They're able to defeat the Mavericks in the shootout. It'll officially go as a tie on Omaha's side. But they spoil the trophy celebration as still your Omaha Mavericks wrap up the Omaha Showdown with a record of 2-0-1 and will take the trophy home for the first time in program history. The two teams shake hands, signifying the end of this game. About the only thing matching on the Sun Devils there is the gloves, which some of them are electing not to take off to shake hands with the Mavs. As ASU skates to its first win of the year, they're now 1-1-1. Omaha 3-0-1. After the shootout goes the way of the Sun Devils. We'll stick around with you for just a little bit longer as Joe Capper is out from the box to hand the Omaha Showdown Cup to the hometown Mavericks. We'll listen in with David Olson.
Thank you for your attendance. Thank you for your support. Let's get on there. Who else would like to thank Who else like to thank Omaha, Western Michigan, and University of Basketball Omaha for your participation in this great tournament.
Here comes the trophy presentation as Captain Troy Hunsaker hands it back to his team. Omaha has its first hardware of the year, and it comes just 4 games in. Bittersweet, the celebration at center ice, but still some Sun Devils applauding the Mavs after a great performance in the showdown. They'll pause for a photo op as Coach Harrell's eldest son, Lawson, joined us up here for the broadcast for a minute. Now heads to the ice with his father in his third year of the now Omaha Showdown champion, your Omaha Mavericks. They fall in the finale, but they take home the big prize anyway. Your final score in Game 3, Omaha 2, Arizona State 2. ASU wins this one 3-2 in the shootout. That'll do it for all of us here inside Liberty First Credit Union Arena. To all of you listening at home, on the go, or wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in, as always, to the UNOACHA Mavericks channel on YouTube. Have a great rest of your weekend, and as always, go Mavs! I've been Nate Obrecht, alongside Caden McDermott and Easton Mesher, our wonderful producers today. Thank you, and good night.